I'm GrizzzzBear. Beside me I have the wonderful Tokanoni One, whose arm is now massively in pain from running Spyro Fusion ILs.
Good thing I don't have to run now.
I mean, do you want to?
No.
You played this game before.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, so, we're ready to go on time. So 3... Oh, no, apparently we're not. Okay, now we're good. So 3, 2, 1, go. The game hasn't crashed. That's a good start.
Those days
But what?
have been
It's a
wiped
Steam
out
game.
of
Or would
memories.
it make any?
The days
trouble
when the
or cause any
raging
problem?
river of eternal
Because
time still
most of the
flowed.
time setting up, I was waiting for
The
Steam
vast
to launch
lands
the
of
game for the
Persia
first
were
time,
drowned
even
in
though
the
I've been
chaos
playing
of
this
war and
multiple
the
times
fire
on this
of
laptop.
Ah, that's
So,
interesting.
yeah.
In those
very,
days,
very good
those
game.
old days.
So,
Great Garshasp,
there's not
mighty
really a
Persian
lot to
warrior,
say in the
was
opening
still
cutscenes
young
of the
and
game
seeking to make a
because
name for
there's
himself.
not really a lot happening, and there won't be a
Little
lot
did he
happening
know
throughout
the
the entire
incredible
run,
destiny
essentially.
ahead.
Because
Well, that's a great premise
The
already.
destiny that
well, yeah,
became
you do
legend.
one glitch to skip 80% of the
poems
game, which
the
isn't
bards
very
sang,
interesting because you don't actually
the
see what
stories the
happens
merchants
because you go
carried
so
to the
far
Well, I
in
mean,
the
I see
background.
what happens. I can look at
Yes,
my
you can look at my hands, but on
like
screen,
hand cam. Should
yeah,
put a
exactly.
phone here.
Yeah, I can just hold my hands and show you what I'm doing. I'm just holding two directions and rolling.
Live tutorial.
Yeah. But yeah, so coming out of the cutscene, you got this little fight that happens at the start, which interrupts the cutscene, and then puts you in another cutscene straight after the fight. So it's kind of a little bit of a troll, because you spend so long in a cutscene to do a small fighting section.
Ashmogs,
Now I can
those
put the
evil
controller down and
man-eating
just we
creatures
have to wait.
only left their dens
And there's
on
nothing
command
really
of a
going on
deed.
for like another, what is it? I think it's a
Seeing them in
minute
the
20
mountains
for the
was
next cutscene,
unexpected to
which
such
is
an extent
unskippable.
that Garsharp
So,
immediately felt a
this is-
Why is there a
premonition
tangerine?
about dreadful events
I don't know, I
happening
guess
in
you just
his
picked it up for
town.
good luck.
Adios.
It just was here, and not even responsible. You want one? Or?
No, I'm good. I might get some sparkling water later.
Oh. Mine is empty. Sorry.
Unfortunately. So if
That's
you
a
would
movie cutscene. Can you just skip that?
no, I could mash every single button on my controller and it won't do anything to skip it. Game's a bit loud apparently. Also, hello Smathlex. Suzanne.
What did you just say? Did you just insult me?
No, stop being a coward.
Oh.
Which is a meme from the second game, which is something that isn't really present in this one. So I'm sorry. And already I would have reset this run because I got a side roll instead of a forward roll. So
Well, you just hold forward then. Can't be that hard, right?
yes, but the way that this game works is that you roll using the right analog stick. There are no camera controls. And I'm trying to get on this barrier, but it's just not wanting to work.
Ah, easy.
So it might be, yes, I came down this path and I'm backtracking a little bit, but there's an important reason for doing that. I'm going to stand in this corner and hold two directions and just continuously roll. So we've got a little bit of time to ourselves now. So
Yeah. Should maybe have explained how you get over that barrier.
well, the barriers in this game are very, very, very short. So basically, you can jump on top of an enemy's head and get enough jumping height from that to get on top of the barrier and then just go out of bounds, because there's a small ledge you can walk on outside of the barriers.
Right, yeah.
So you can walk along that and get yourself into position
Yeah.
to get into the void roll, which is what this glitch is called. So essentially we're just going to be staring at this wonderful image of a mountain until the screen goes black because it doesn't know where we are anymore. Hit a load trigger and something exciting happens. We get a screen back.
It's a nice skybox.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Looks cool. Kind of looks like Glasgow.
I mean, on a good day, I guess. But wait, there's more. We get another load screen in a second.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes. Unless the game decides to crash. Which hopefully it shouldn't. But yeah, this skip essentially skips about 80% of actual gameplay. So because of we're void running, we're continuously falling down through the map as well. So for us to actually get the camera back, we get into this gorge here, which gives us the camera back, and we can just roll back inbounds.
Nice.
And then, yeah, that's 80% of the game done, straight away. Very, very hard gameplay. I mean, it is hard to hold two directions at once, And let's see how good my RNG is here. Nope, not good at all. So you can actually just continuously jump across this ledge here, what I'm doing now. And
well, so for the first cycle, it doesn't really matter, because you have to wait for the saw blade anyways. But right before getting off, like here, you want to go through.
Nah.
That's the one that would matter the most.
I'm not going to mash because I don't want to crash the game at Tokaloni 1.
I'm not sure what you're hinting at.
I'm just going to wait for the cycles now. I don't want to waste too much time. The estimate is fairly forgiving, but the boss fight is actually pretty hard. Yeah. So I'm just going to take this a bit slowly.
Did this saw blade just not obey its own boundaries?
Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why. Okay. But it just doesn't like to do that sometimes.
Okay, cool.
Can I jump in with a quick donation?
Go ahead.
Got $5 from Smathflax. Says, Hör auf, ein Feigling zu sein.
What?
Which I'm reliably informed says, stop being a coward.
It is indeed stop being a coward.
Thank you for your $5 donation.
Thank you, Smathflax. Hör auf, ein Feigling zu sein. There's a saw blade up there somewhere. What? I loaded the checkpoint. All these saw blades should be okay, but apparently they're not. Alright. So, rip 5 seconds because you can't jump up this edge quickly, I guess. We have to take the slow way, I guess. This game is weird.
Game.
Yes, game. In quotations. Right, so I can barely see the blades actually because of the screen, so... I'm surprised if these saw blades are in one piece. I don't know why the bottom ones are broken, but who knows? It's Garshasp. It's very, very unoptimized.
No skip.
No, I was too far to the right.
I think so?
Yeah, I would have just continuously fallen down.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'm going to activate the switch, and now we've got much more intensive gameplay right here. Just going to stand here for a little bit. So, how's everybody doing? How's your UKSG going, Toka?
My arm still hurts. Bad experience.
I mean, there's not really much we can do other than poop walk. So, yeah.
Actually, at the start of the elevator, there's no horizontal, there's no barrier yet, so you can roll off the elevator and the elevator leaves without you.
Yeah, so you
and
can
then
soft lock the
soft
game.
lock.
Yeah. Which I discovered on a PB pace run once and was incredibly unhappy after that. Nice load screen, by the way.
Yeah. I like the run. Like, you fall for 2 minutes and then you take, 1 minute elevator. Could have just stayed at the top from the start, right?
Yeah.
What was the point anyway?
Yeah, you just take damage through that. It doesn't really matter. Then we're going to roll into another load here. And then just wait again. But actually, there is a skip coming up here. If you double jump here, hit the checkpoint. We start the checkpoint. Then you don't have to open up a bridge. Which is very nice because it saves 10 seconds or something.
Something like that.
Oh, get out the door.
To be fair, these ones are bigger. These times that feel very nice.
Yeah, there's a barrier right there that we just jump over because this is Garsharp and barriers exist apparently, or don't. I'm not really that sure. I mean, they're there, kind of, I think. Nice side roll, Garsharp. So if I haven't mentioned this already, I should mention it at least a few times. I'm rolling by using the right analog stick, which is very finicky in terms of how it wants to work.
How the game interprets what you're inputting.
Yeah. I'm also doing a method of saving the frames as well by mashing heavy attack as I'm rolling to save a couple of frames in between the rolls.
So this really sums up. It's a lot faster than doing the normal roll.
Yeah, it is a lot faster. It's essentially like I think I timed it. Like if you do 4 rolls and you do the heavy attack cancel, you essentially save a second over those 4 rolls than doing it the normal way.
Yeah.
So we're coming up to the final boss here, and this is actually the hard part of the run. I'm not actually being
How's it
ironic
the final
there.
boss? We're 9 minutes in only.
We're 9 minutes in. This is actually a fairly decent pace, though, all things considered. But this boss fight is actually very hard, and I think my PB has it at 4 minutes 37, I think. No, it's longer than that. It's actually 5 minutes. 5 minutes 47.
For the fight.
Yeah. For the fight itself, from the fight.
I thought you
beginning to the
got
fight
here
end.
and you have to be 437. That
No,
would be really impressive.
No,
My land will not sleep hearing this.
I wish. But the fight itself is actually very difficult. Because throughout the game you're meant to get all these upgrades like health, weapons, attacks and so forth like that, except we essentially skip it all.
HP, please.
HP, I'm sorry. So all we have are heavy attacks, light attacks and counters, and that's it.
But there are also heavy counters and light counters. So Grizz is currently doing the light counter, because the light counter, during the light counter you have iframes. So he's countering here, and although he's getting countered, kind of, he doesn't take damage. If you would do a heavy counter, you would get them. And you would get quite some damage, let's put it like that. So you really want to light counter, simply because you didn't pick up any life upgrades.
Yeah.
So your HP really matters in this fight.
It really does, because you get 2 HP refills over the whole fight, and those are very hard to come by. You get them by destroying these orbs, and we can only progress the boss fight by destroying the orbs anyway. But to make it hard, the game will spawn enemies at you. So I'm going to try and set this up in a way that I can actually hit these enemies with light attacks and heavy attacks at the same time to do damage to them as well, which isn't really working out for me. So I'm going to have to play around with counters a bit.
Yeah.
So
Another thing that's happening here are animation cancels when hitting that HP orb thing, whatever that is. Destroyed it?
yeah. So I've been animation cancelling since the start of the fight. So this is why it gets hard, because the boss is like right in the sun glare. Believe it or not, there's sun glare in this game. I don't know why they put it in. And I have no camera control either, so I can't even rotate the camera at all. Yeah. So essentially, what I'm playing on is all I can see. And I'm having to be quite careful here, because these enemies are being a bit of a pain.
I mean, how much have you played around with the controls? Like, is it such that, for example, I think it's in Pop 3D that numpad 2468 controls the camera.
If I there is no button to control camera. I've looked, I've pressed every button on my keyboard.
Maybe.
So I think, unless there's some way of doing it, I'm not sure. I could have a look into it, but I don't really fancy adding more time into the game.
Mouse doesn't do it?
No. For all I know, mouse can get you to roll.
Num 6 doesn't do it. Okay. Yeah, it's impossible. I deem it impossible.
Yeah. So I'm trying to actually do a lot more damage to the actual mobs than I am the boss right now, because they're still alive and I don't want them to be alive for this next bit, because essentially I need to attack this orb, and if I set this up right, basically all these big dudes will continuously try to hide behind themselves.
Yeah. For whatever reason.
For whatever reason, and they won't attack me while I'm attacking the orb, which is nice in a way. But at the same time, because they'll all still be in the final boss phase, it's going to be painful, because they will try to attack me, which hurts
Pretty
a
good
lot.
fights about it.
It is actually. I've had worse. Plenty worse.
Can't believe that.
Also, another thing is, if you get hit twice very quickly while you're blocking, you can get a counter off anyway, because the game resets your guard so that you can get another counter off like that, which is essentially very nice, because it's essentially free counters when you get spammed. Oh crap, I pressed the wrong button. That's a heavy attack, by the way. I kind of need the boss to be closer to the middle of the arena as well, because if to actually end the final boss, I have to execute him essentially, which if you have a look at the enemy on the left, he's got like a red mark above his head, and that means he's executable right now. But I don't want to do that, because I just want to focus the boss. And I'm losing a little bit of health here, which I don't want.
It's still good. Well off, fine off, whatever.
Boss should be getting into executable state soon. There he is. I'm just going to do that now, so I can run up to him. And now it's a quick time event, so at the side of the screen, there's markers, and I have to push the analog stick in that direction. And time is coming up, by the way. So I'm just going to shout it out when time actually is, because it's on the last hit on the big boss. And time. 14:17. That actually might be world record.
Really?
I think it might be. I think my PB is 14:23.
I thought it's 13
So-
something. I mean, can check.
I don't think I got a 13 yet. So let me just quickly check, because I do have the web page open.
You lost quite some time.
I
in
did
the-
lose quite a bit of
in
time.
the cavern.
I did. I might be wrong, but I feel like it is. Oh no, it's 12:27. I was wrong. So off by 2 minutes essentially. But for that kind of run, that wasn't actually that bad. Essentially, all the time was lost in the cavern,
Right.
messing around, getting around traps. But yeah, that was Garshasp.
Hör auf, ein Feigling zu sein.
That's part of the second game, Toga.
Oh, sorry.
It's part of the
You
second
said
game.
it like twice already.
I
How
know,
am I not
yes.
allowed to say?
Thank you for watching this terrible game. Up next, what do we have next? Actually, I've forgotten. Sorry? I can't hear you. Sorry. Oh, Electronic Superjoy. Yes. Stay tuned for that, and I will be back later this afternoon for another run, Wings Club. So yeah, keep enjoying the marathon, and I'll see you guys around.